Good morning and welcome to Newswatch Today. I'm Cameron Lee.
And I'm Austin Mickey. A plane door falls off mid-flight.
And a devastating shooting has occurred in Kansas City.
Aubrey Jackson is here with your forecast, and Titus Smith has your latest sports news. This is Newswatch Today.
I think it's best we start off with a little weather to get into the mood. What do you think?
I couldn't agree more. Aubrey, what can you tell us about that?
Hey, it's Aubrey with Weather Watch. Let's take a look at what this week is going to be like. So we can see our current conditions are sunny and 44, so it was pretty chilly outside, and if you were like me and you took a nice walk outside this morning, it was also pretty windy. So be prepared for a little bit of wind today and for those weathers to slightly decrease overnight. We can also see that the humidity is down to 73%, and today is going to be partly cloudy with a high of 56. So be prepared for a little bit chillier weather and some clouds coming in. But we'll get back to more on that later in my full forecast. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Aubrey. Looks like it's going to be kind of a cold day. I'm not really looking forward to the colder temperatures compared to the warmer ones we've been having.
I know, and I think this cold weather has really been making me feel a little under the weather.
I get it.
Not so great, but I guess we'll know a little more in just a little while during Aubrey's full forecast.
The Federal Aviation Administration is investigating the report of a backdoor falling off of a plane at the Buffalo Niagara International Airport. Authorities say it happened when a small plane took off Monday night. The rear passenger door came off about 10 minutes into the flight. The pilot called in the emergency, returned to the airport, and landed safely. Fortunately, there are no reports of injuries or damages thus far.
A deadly shooting took place Wednesday in Kansas City as the beloved Chiefs were being celebrated for their Super Bowl victory. At noon on Wednesday, several shots were fired at Union Station, located in downtown Kansas City, where thousands of football fans gathered to see the players give their speeches. Just as tight end Travis Kelce and quarterback Patrick Mahomes took to the stage, several shots were fired and all in attendance fled for cover. Initially, the Chiefs team and any bystanders were rushed into the station, but soon after, all were sent to the stadium to meet back up with their families. KCPD says one fatality has been reported so far, and several are in critical condition. 8 of those in critical condition are children. While it has not been confirmed that all of these injuries are due to gunshot wounds, it is speculation that most are injuries that happened in the stampede while trying to flee to safety. Since the incident, several of the Chiefs players, including Mahomes and Kelce, took to social media to show their support for their city and genuine concern for everyone involved.
Evangel basketball will be having their last regular season game of the year, which will be held on February 24th in the Ashcroft Center. The game is going to be called The Last Dance to commemorate all the years in the Ashcroft Center, as Evangel has been in the process of constructing the new Valor Center, and it should be ready for the next basketball season. Men's coach Bert Capel encourages former players and alumni to come out for The Last Dance in the Ashcroft Center to experience this bittersweet event.
But it'll be fun. All the former players, and if you're a supporter of Evangel, just whatever you may be, seeing a game in here, it's going to be the last time to see that. And so it'll be bittersweet for people like me that played and were involved with Ashcrofts for so long. We'll certainly miss being in here and the memories that we had.
Playing Oklahoma Wesleyan University. The women play at 1 p.m. and the men play at 3 p.m. There will also be a private event following the game for former and current Evangel basketball players, where all the years in the Ashcroft will be commemorated.
Evangel is hosting a Valentine's Day social. With more on the story is Harrison Miller.
Is hosting their Valentine's Day social with a good cause behind it. The sock drive accompanied with the party will go to help many kids in the Springfield area.
I'm the vice president of SMSTA, which means that it's a lot of planning events like the SMSTA Valentine's Day social and recording our meetings with our other officers and making sure that all the education students really get connected in the education department here at Evangel. My favorite part about being in the education department is the community you can build with students and faculty here, and really just making sure that I can grow as a person and a teacher.
Yeah, so I am the president of SMSTA, which is the Student Missouri State Teachers Association Club here on campus. we have a chapter on Evangel, but it's also a statewide club. So today is our Valentine's Day social. We love our educator social, so education students were able to come in and eat food and fellowship with each other, and also write Valentines to our current student teachers. Yeah, so we reached out to the Springfield Dream Center to see what goods they would need for this time of year, and they said that they really needed socks for their students. So today, through Valentine's Day, we are collecting socks to go to their kids at the Springfield Dream Center. So yeah.
The community building and a good helping cause is propelling the education department into a new year.
Evangel University students are collecting cleaning products for those in need residing at the Harmony House. They'll be taking donations such as cleaning sprays, paper towels, bath towels, twin-size sheets, and 13-gallon trash bags. More info can be found on their website as well as on the flyers around campus.
So this organization was a really easy way to figure out how to support someone, because actually listed on their website are a list of common items that they need for people who come, because they'll have temporary housing for them sometimes and then moving them out. So things that they may have had to leave the house without, common household items. And so we were able to just take that and know how to help them, because sometimes you want to support an organization, but you don't know how to best do it. And do you collect money? And it was a really easy fit for us to be able to say, these are the items that girls can donate for this cause.
From now until the 21st of February, there will be a donation box in all of the women's resident hall dorms. If you're interested in donating, the floor with the most donations will get preferred seating in the Made for More event with Harmony House.
A near-fatal shooting occurred on February 3rd when a woman mistaken as an intruder was shot by police officers in Houston, Texas. Police arrived at the woman's home after another resident called in concerned about a potential break-in in a nearby apartment. Body cam footage shows the officers arriving at the apartment and seeing a broken window. The deputies fired multiple shots when they saw a woman coming towards the door inside. They then reloaded and fired again. The woman, Ebony Pouncey, was a friend of the renter of the apartment and had broken the window when her friend realized she didn't have her key. Pouncey was shot in the leg, torso, along with many other places. She was transported to a nearby hospital and was given life-saving care. The Harris County Sheriff's Office is investigating and confirmed that a handgun was found at the scene. The deputies involved are on administrative leave until the district attorney reviews the investigation. Pouncey has attained civil rights attorney Ben Crump, who is known for representing clients in cases concerning violations of civil rights. Up next, Paramount is laying off 3% of their workforce.
And we'll have a special guest come to talk more about Evangel University intramurals. We'll hear more about that when we get back from this break.
And both they and the district attorney's office are investigating
resources. Call 211 or visit 211.org.
You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff, like making sure your kids are in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the-right seat.
What a disaster.
You're a disaster.
This is a disaster.
You can't be ready for every little disaster, but you can prepare for a big one. Make an emergency plan today.
My biggest fear in the middle of my addiction was that I would never be able to get over it and that my kids wouldn't have a father. I started thinking, you know what? This isn't my story. For the longest time, fear held me back from ultimately being who I wanted to. I had to become a better man to be a better father. It's important to me that my kids are empowered and truly believe that if they can think it, they can do it.
Paramount Global, owner of TV networks such as CBS, Nickelodeon, and Comedy Central, is laying off around 800 employees, or about 3% of their workforce. Last year, the company's streaming division, which includes Paramount Plus and Pluto TV, lost over $1 billion, which has led to Paramount trying to cut costs and return to growth as they transition away from traditional television. Needless to say, the media giant has not transitioned smoothly into the streaming era. This shocking news came only one day after CBS's Super Bowl advertising sales and viewership numbers broke records. Cameron Lee is standing by with a special guest. Cameron?
Thanks, Austin. Today we have Anthony Finzo, who is the Campus Recreational Coordinator, with us. Thanks for being here today, Anthony. So kind of explain what intramurals are, what it is.
So intramurals is an opportunity for students on campus who are not athletes, or particularly not athletes in that specific sport, to compete in usually five different annual offerings for major sports, just to be competitive and have an opportunity to have some fun with your classmates.
Yeah, that's awesome. And so how did you kind of get thrown into the, hey, I run intramurals?
So I was managing the general manager of the fitness center. Started that in 2018. And then in 2021, Tyler Henry was the coordinator for intramurals, and then he took over as the head coach for baseball. When he took over as head coach, he wasn't permitted to do that role anymore just because he wouldn't have time to do it as the head baseball coach. So they offered it to me, and I was like, sure, I have no clue what I'm doing, but I'll give it a shot. So we've been doing it. This is my third year running intramurals.
Okay. And anyone that wants to play can, or is there certain rules that if they do real sports, they can't play intramurals?
Yeah, so football players can't play flag football, but we try to let them use football players for referees in those sports, just to like help athletes, be around campus a little bit more. So like volleyball players ref volleyball. We try to find basketball players to ref basketball if we can, but sometimes their schedules just conflict too much because they're in season.
That's awesome. So I know last semester we had a couple intramurals happen. I personally helped lead my team to at least one football victory. But what other intramurals do we have coming up this semester?
So this semester we're going to finish up 5v5 basketball. So basketball is one of our biggest sports. That'll end right before spring break. So we just started that a week ago, and then after spring break we'll have our volleyball intramurals, and then we'll be done until next fall.
Okay. And I know there's a schedule in the time that we have these intramural games. So what does the commitment kind of look like for someone who commits to a team?
It depends on the sport and how many teams we have register. So for example, in flag football, most teams played one game a week. In basketball, you can play 2 or even 3 games a week. Just kind of depends on how many teams we have register and what the schedule looks like, since we play 3 nights a week on a normal week if there's not a holiday or something. So usually the commitment is, if your team wants to practice a lot, that's on you guys, but for the most part it's one game, it's an hour roughly with warm-ups. So it's not that much of a commitment at all. It's just kind of an opportunity to get together and have some fun.
So it's kind of easy to be involved if you're a busy student.
Yeah, I think it is easy to be involved. I think we, as Evangel students, you should always take an opportunity to get beyond the classroom, to experience more of what college has for you. That's what you're here for.
Yeah. I know you're a little bit of a professor yourself. You're teaching a gym class, is it?
Yeah, I teach Extra 101. It's the online class for lifetime health awareness. So it's pretty much going to be a requirement for all incoming freshmen and new students here at Evangel. But it's just a 1-credit online 7-week course that just gives people basic insights into exercise and nutrition that can help them just kind of springboard into what they want to do with their personal lives.
Yeah, and that means that you have to also kind of step out of the classroom when it comes to intramurals, because you have your own classroom technically. So what would you say is your favorite intramural sport to kind of get to watch play out, and why?
Oh man, probably my favorite one is flag football, just because it's a sport that I played in college. But flag football, the playoffs are so intense. Like if you come to our championship game, we had so many people. We probably had well over 100, 150, maybe even 200 people down there watching a flag football championship game when it's really cold outside. It just shows that there's a lot of commitment to people wanting to watch games.
Yeah, that's awesome. And looking forward into this semester, we said we're in basketball, but we've got volleyball, a couple other things kind of coming up. What are you most excited for within the intramural leagues coming forward?
So traditionally, every year can be a little bit different, just kind of depends on how the year goes. But traditionally, we've done a 10-team men's playoff. So we have as soon as our regular season ends, that week before spring break, we'll have a 10-team bracket. And then we'll do like a bracket challenge, just like for March Madness, where you can fill out a bracket and hang it up. And then we'll actually give out an intramural championship T-shirt to the bracket has the person who has the closest bracket to what actually happened for our playoff. And then that opening night of intramural playoffs, we go from 10 teams down to 4 in one night. So it's pretty intense. Guys get the opportunity to see what they're made of that night.
And would you say you normally have a bracket that's pretty accurate to what you think is going to happen?
Well, John Woodruff and I, the assistant coordinator, we watch a lot of games. So we watch usually more games than most of the students do, because they usually come watch their individual friends, or maybe they're only on the team that they're on.
Right.
So if you see a lot more games, you usually have a little bit better opportunity to pick winners. But I'll say last year we were completely wrong in one round, and that's okay.
So you can roughly kind of picture who's going to be good at what and where it's going to kind of land, and that's how you succeed in the bracket.
Yeah, there's a little bit of luck, because there's still whoever is going to get hot on any particular night. But for the most part, we can kind of justify who we think is going to make it to the championship.
Yeah, well, awesome. Thanks so much, Anthony. It was great to hear your heart over the intramurals and what's coming up in this semester, and just overall how it works. Let's go back to the desk with Aubrey and Austin.
Thanks, Cameron. So, Aubrey, what's the weather looking like for the rest of the week?
Well, I can definitely say that the weather is having quite a few mood swings. It's going to be rainy and snowy possibly tomorrow, with temperatures below freezing and then warmer, but we'll get back to more on that in my full forecast.
We can't see the help that's all around us. Let 211 be your guiding light for help with food, healthcare, and other resources.
211, how can I help you?
Call 211 or visit 211.org. 211, get connected, get help.
You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff, like making sure your kids are in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat.
There is a road laid out for me.
First night here, but Amy seems cool.
Leading down to the river. I am blind, but I need not see.
What do you think?
I know this road is there for me. If I'm really free, take me down to the river and walk.
The most watched game in Super Bowl history also was a jackpot for the Las Vegas International Airport. The Transportation Security Administration says nearly 104,000 people went through Harry Reid International Airport on Monday. That breaks the previous record set last October by roughly 500 people. Obviously, the big game between the Chiefs and the 49ers played a factor in the passenger traffic. And TSA officials say the busiest hour on Monday was between 5 and 6 a.m. local time, when more than 7,700 travelers were scanned. Airport officials brought in extra staff to deal with the bigger than usual crowds and kept numerous checkpoints open for a full 24 hours. Super Bowl 58 marked the first time the NFL championship was held in Las Vegas. I tell you what, I love flying. I think it's a lot of fun. However, I don't know if I would like the flight or like all the people on the flights and getting through the airport.
Yeah, definitely not. And the weather plays a huge
That's
role
true.
in all these people's flights. So, Aubrey, could you tell us some more about that?
I certainly can. Let's take a look at more of Weather Watch. So we can see our current conditions are sunny and 44. It was pretty chilly outside this morning, and if you went outside like me, you could see the winds have picked up a little bit, but unlike last week, the humidity is around 73%, so not too humid, so be prepared for that nicer weather to kind of stay around for today, but we can also see today is going to be partly cloudy and 56 with those winds staying about the same. For our daily almanac, we can see that weather is about to go downhill slightly. We can see today's temperature is a low of 38 and a high of 56. So it is slightly colder than what we've seen in these past few days. These past few days have been very nice. The weather has been great, and it has been perfect to go outside and enjoy the clear skies and sun. Well, today we have a visibility of 12 miles, so it's nice and clear for today, and sunset is at 5:52 p.m., so a little bit later than what we've experienced these past few weeks. For our satellite, you can see that weather coming in, though, so different to what we've had in these past few days, we are going to have a little bit more precipitation coming in. We can see more on this satellite of more of this precipitation moving up north, and then the precipitation already existing north, such as in Michigan, coming down further towards our Springfield area. So be prepared for more precipitation coming in. Perhaps not today, but definitely tomorrow, as tomorrow morning it will start to rain and include possible snow showers as it gets colder and colder throughout this week. We can also see on the satellite more winds and rain moving further west, moving towards our southern Springfield area, so be prepared for that as well. Now let's take a look at our radar. For our radar, we can see very similar things of what we saw on the satellite, of that warmer weather turning into more precipitation this weekend. We can see this northern area of Michigan, Detroit, Chicago, it's all coming down further south, so it will hit closer to our St. Louis, Springfield area through Illinois, and then closer to Missouri where we are here. We can also see some of this precipitation west moving closer east, so it could possibly hit us as we see the temperatures slightly declining throughout the weekend. As this moves further this way, we can expect to see more precipitation and clouds coming through, along with that chillier temperature. For our Missouri temps, the high temperatures will stay pretty nice today. We can see we have a 56 in Springfield, around 50 in Columbia, and 53 in St. Louis. So pretty even across the board and pretty nice. So get outside while you can before any of that snow or rain or colder temperatures that we can expect this weekend come through. So make sure to go outside for that nice 56 high today. For our national forecast, we can see more of that precipitation that we've talked about before. We can see in areas around us that it is about to come closer. Here we can see with this cold front, it's moving further down south. So in our area here, we can see it is going to be hit this weekend as that cold front moves further. We can also see cold fronts over the west moving closer to the east, as we discussed earlier on our radar, moving closer to our Missouri area. So it should sweep past Colorado, Kansas into our Springfield area. Now for our 6-day forecast, we can see those temperatures that I was discussing before. Today is a nice high of 56, so go outside while you can, but we can see tomorrow is possible rain and snow showers with a low of 20, so be prepared for those below freezing temperatures, especially throughout the night. The week does get warmer, though, as we continue, so we can see past that weekend of those below freezing temperatures and high of 40s. It does get slightly colder, but sunny is happening on Saturday, so it will get slightly warmer as well, and then past that precipitation point, we can also see the rest of the week gets warmer and warmer as we go along until the next middle of the week, where we have highs of 60s and 70s. Well, we can look at more of that in my last forecast and next week, but that is it for this week. Back to you guys at the desk. Thank you.
Thanks, Aubrey. You know, it's kind of looking like there's some rain coming, some precipitation, maybe even some snow. So thankfully, everyone's back from Vegas. If they're not, hopefully their plane makes it back from Vegas.
Yeah, and I've been feeling a little under weather with all this cold lately, so I'm really looking forward to the beautiful
It's the
weather
change from
today.
the hot to the cold.
Exactly.
Every time.
And just around the corner, Titus Smith will be here to give us the latest in sports.
This and more when we return.
Anytime, anywhere, but there's a simple way to stay safe. Hey, Jim Cantori here. I stay safe in dangerous weather by planning ahead. You can stay safe too with a few easy steps. Build an inexpensive kit with supplies for your family's needs. Write down important information like phone numbers and medications. Always talk with your family and remember any pets in your planning. Be ready, be safe. Start your plan today at ready.gov/plan.
Hey Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
When times get dark, we can't see the help that's all around us. Let 211 be your guiding light for help with food, healthcare, and other resources.
211, how can I help you?
Call 211 or visit 211.org. 211, get connected, get help.
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat apples and bananas?
Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
As if Smokey is going to use the drown, stir, drown, and feel technique. After the first drown, a good start. Next, another drink. And finally, a close feel.
Is it cool? Okay. Yeah. Hey, Smokey, catch. Oh, my bad, Smokey.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
When I first saw a turtle.
Last week, students and teachers in Nebraska were shocked when their college was unexpectedly shut down. Career College of Northern Nevada filed for bankruptcy on Friday after the trade school closed its doors forever. Students remarked that this closure came completely out of the blue. The students and staff are now entering a time of extreme confusion as they consider what to do next. While students ponder what to do about their education, the college is offering the possibility of being reimbursed for tuition. Under specific circumstances, some of these students may be removed completely from the obligation of repaying student loans. It's definitely not an ideal situation, but at least it sounds like these students may get some money back.
Yeah, it's kind of sad for those that were like all in, maybe in their senior year, or anyone who might have been like playing sports or anything. Like that's kind of sad. Exactly. Speaking of university sports, Titus, what can you tell us about this week?
Well, Cameron, I can tell you Evangel has had some great games. Evangel men's basketball team was able to claim their 7th consecutive win this season against Bethany College. The game went back and forth as teams alternated the lead. However, Evangel was able to lock down their defense during the 4th quarter, shutting down Bethany. The score was 90-75, and Evangel caused Bethany to have 18 turnovers. Josh Pritchett led the Valor with a double-double, scoring 19 points and earning 10 assists. Jace Coffey also scored 19 points, which tied his career high. This is the 6th time Evangel has scored over 90 points this season. Their next game is at home against Sterling College on February 17th at 5 p.m. at the Mabee Center. The Evangel track team competed in the KCAC Conference Championship on Monday and Tuesday. The women were able to place second overall in the tournament, and the men were also able to claim 4th place. Together, the Valor Track students were able to conquer 11 school records. They consisted of both team and individual records and covered a variety of events. Emily Harris was able to qualify for nationals with a time of 3 minutes and 1.85 seconds on the 1,000-meter run. Additionally, both head coaches Brandon Staley and assistant coach Josh Sack were both named KCAC Coaches of the Year. Now on to national news. The Texas Rangers have opened their spring training as they prepare for the new season. They are still coming off the high of winning the American League Championship, which was the first time in the franchise's history after 63 years. Now they are set to win it again. But in order to do so, the Rangers are expectantly waiting for 3 of their key players' recoveries. Firstly, Max Scherzer, a future Hall of Famer, is hoping to return from a back surgery in June. Meanwhile, both Tyler Mahal and Jacob deGrom are both rehabbing after their Tommy John surgeries. They are expected to return in July and August, respectively. Orlando Magic has retired Shaquille O'Neal's jersey, making it the first jersey the Magic have ever retired. The ceremony took place after the Magic's game against Oklahoma City, and the many fans stayed afterwards to commemorate him. He is now the 3rd player to ever have 3 jerseys retired for him, following Wilt Chamberlain and Pete Maravich. Shaquille never expected to receive this honor due to his short 4 years playing with the Orlando Magic. When comparing his retired jersey to the others, he said, "Truthfully speaking, this will probably be the most impressive one." Cameron, back to you.
Thanks, Titus. You know, honestly, I think it's really cool whenever teams get rewarded different things, like actual things you can hold, or they retire a jersey. I think it's really cool. Like, for example, Evangel just got their rings for their championship wins, and it's really cool.
It's definitely no small feat. 3 jerseys,
yeah.
That's very impressive, especially after only playing with them for 4 years. You just know how much they respect and honor Shaquille O'Neal. And when we get back, American Idol is going to need a new judge.
And Aubrey is with us for one final look at the forecast. All of this when we return.
Properly extinguished can cause a wildfire.
Hey guys, it's Smokey!
It looks as if Smokey is going to use the drown, stir, drown, and feel technique. After the first drown, a good start. Next, another drink. And finally, a close feel.
Is it cool? Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Smokey, catch! Oh, my bad, Smokey.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
When I first saw Turtle, my heart was full. Now anything but lonely.
We had this deep connection, this heart connection.
He just wants to be close to you and part of your life.
Every day with Turtle is a perfect day.
When I'm holding her, it makes me feel calmer.
I think everything he does shows how much he loves us.
When we adopt a shelter pet, we discover they're a little bit of a lot of things.
But they're all pure love.
Well, it looks like American Idol will soon have a vacant chair at the judge's desk. On Monday, Katy Perry announced on ABC's Jimmy Kimmel Live that she's leaving the hit TV show. The upcoming 22nd season of the ABC singing competition will be the pop star's last. Perry joined the talent competition program since it was revived in 2018 and has been there for the past 7 seasons. Perry told Kimmel that she's loved her time on the show, but that she now needs to, quote, feel that pulse to my own beat. So far, there's been no official word from the ABC Idol co-hosts Lionel Richie and Luke Bryan are also not commenting on the matter. I'm kind of sad to see her go. I think she's iconic in the show. She's remade it, and they've kind of built it around her almost since 2018, so it'll be weird to see someone else come into those shoes.
Yeah, and I've always loved Katy Perry.
Always.
After we just had the Super Bowl this weekend, and I remember her Super Bowl performance and just how she crushed it.
Yeah.
And now, Aubrey, what can you tell us about this next week's weather?
Well, here's what I can tell you guys. Be prepared for that precipitation coming tomorrow throughout the weekend and those below freezing temperatures that we can see coming in. But after that, the sun is going to increase and we can expect those highs to move closer to the 50s, then 60s, and then 70s. So even though it will be raining tomorrow, bring out your umbrellas and then be prepared to put them away for the rest of this week. That's it for this week on Weather Watch. Back to you guys at the desk.
So it sounds like a pretty big week and lots of changes for Missouri weather.
I'm just not excited to see the snow coming. Hope it doesn't stick around.
Not at all. Well, that's all for today. I'm Austin Mickey.
And I'm Cameron Lee. This has been Newswatch Today. For more on EUTV and for the latest Evangel news, go to euvalormedia.com.